Well, that's a lovely opening red from Trump, and that's, I think, an area that maybe went missing a bit last season when he didn't win a ranking title, but and back in the winner's enclosure after his triumph last week for his second English Open title. It had been 19 months since he won a ranking event. Of course, he won the Masters last season. Confidence back again.
Nine.
In their semi-finals, scored a lot heavier than maybe they had been in previous matches. I definitely think the new cloth going on after the quarterfinals contributed to that. More responsive.
Standing couple of centuries. Once again, the long potting was very reliable, and he punished his opponent's mistakes. We were a big occasion for him, and ultimately he was overwhelmed by the excellence of Trump. And it was equally emphatic, really, as Fergal as Sullivan in the previous round. Big upset, and won easily, really, 5-1. But Carter came through from 2-all at the interval after a 6-2 win. So both players feeling great coming into this final.
Second night. Judd.
Carter at 44 years of age, the older man by 10 years. Winning that title and then rocking up at the English Open. But for Trump, I think he's right and just wants to keep playing while he's performing as well as he is. Final, and he'll hope he'll be doing it with the tough battle to make it happen.
From that just wasn't playing as well as he would have liked, and also was unsure why he wasn't playing as well as he would have liked. So he addressed that during the summer and went back-to-back tournaments. Obviously very difficult, made more difficult if you then have to travel from the UK to China to do it. And if he was to win, again, give him another.
This is in ranking events here in China, having won the last time we were here in a ranking event, the World Open, way back in 2019, before the pandemic prevented.
Yeah, couldn't play that red as a shot to nothing. In trying to pot it, he'd hold him. These kind of exchanges are going to be critical during the match. About attacking. Certainly more fearful when you're playing Judd if you have left a lot. There's some long pots that Judd would go for that Ali would refuse, and rather try and play a percentage and play a good safety. Shot to nothing. There's the one beside the pink, and also even the one just behind, which is a little bit thinner.
For my money, Trump is the best in the business into the corner pockets. He gets such a high percentage of shots like that. Could be a frame winner.
Yeah, quite telling as well the way he played it. Not just that he went for it, but he played at a pace to play position. He put a lot more emphasis on the pot, which is a sign of his confidence rather than the safety aspect. Both great players, you probably expect it will be very close. However, you do feel if one player was going to potentially run away with it, I think you think it's more likely. And also his confidence at the moment. He will have to work hard for those chances.
That in playing Carter, he likened him to Barry Hawkins insofar as you've got to earn everything you get on the table. Nothing's going to be given to you. Carter's such a solid all-round performer.
21.
And has been scoring heavily recently. High break this week of 145 with Aaron Hill. The acknowledgement that this frame is done to keep Carter in his chair for the rest of this frame. And it's been a very positive start. Got in with the long rail. And at his second scoring visit has finished the job.
$37.
Both players proven winners. Going to be relishing playing today into their shell or feeling uncomfortable. It will be just a case of
44.
of the long day, who plays the best.
Again. He was wowing the crowd yesterday. Penultimate frame of the match. Right-handed, you name it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Crowd, of course, loved that. Likes to entertain. Likes having the crowd on his side. And I would say, with the exception of Sullivan, of course, probably the most popular player amongst the crowds, certainly to watch. Really a sense of anticipation when the frame is won. You feel he will play some amazing shots.
72.
Not quite enough there to add to his season tally of 30 centuries already, but what a start from Judd Trump. There's been nothing wrong with Carter's long potting, cracking pots, and there's another one.
Positional play, but still a good sign. Was confident that he'd pot it. Certainly hasn't turned down. For
had a chance in the previous one, Mr. Red to the right corner, when he could have inflicted even more pain on Carter. Shaded area denoting the balls that Carter can't hit.
Reds around the black.
It's going to go back. Bit of a stalemate at the moment with Reds clogged up on the top. Can it gets underway a week today at the Waterfront Hall in Belfast. We've got the
It's left.
I doubt it very much. That'd have been snapped up. You're playing Stephen Maguire, who lost on a respotted black this week to Wu Yeezer. Final frame.
Set with Steve.
Seven.
And that bounce around the table has returned. Sign of his growing confidence. Feeling a little bit more comfortable.
14. One.
One or two of the frames so far in the final after a very good start have been a bit scrappy and error-strewn, but that's all part of the package when the stakes are as high as they.
28.
Be quite decisive, committed to playing it the right way.
It's already a very healthy lead given the position and how quickly things can turn around when you think that Trump had the opportunity for 5-1. Mr. Red to the right corner. Carter was.
$42.
Position lost, but 53 in front.
Ali Carter, 48.
It's a good break of 48. The black was out of commission.
One. Eight.
Being nicely on the red on the left-hand side cushion. And just needs this red. Doesn't have to play position where the reds are.
You'd need two snookers just to tie if this goes in. He's kept plugging away and he's being rewarded.
Ali Carter, 15 in the frame.
And Judd Trump concedes. So back to threatening takeoff again.
That goes into it. It's a tough shot, this. This really is tough. I suppose it was a big shot that he played, but I think it was more...
Right from the off to get on the attack in this final session. He lives every shot, but if he wins tonight, he'll go up to number 8. Trump, if he were to win, would go from 4 to 3. And it is impressive.
There was some suggestion he wouldn't come. I mean, in his interview afterwards when he came up, but he's pleased he's here now. I think the tournament's been a success. I mean, the good crowds, terrific venue. It's been a resounding success for me.
I agree, the crowd's been running and they're set fair for a gripping climax.
I suppose being 5-4 down
13.
compared to what happened last in the semi-finals, just that the man he's playing can be a tough nut to crack here. Ali Carter, so...
Yeah, the one difference obviously between Carter and Zhang Anda, Zhang had never won a tournament. It was his first final, so you could understand if some pressure came on. Carter has won 5 ranking titles. Pounce and also just get a bit more rhythm going. It got very scrappy towards the end of the first session, not his sort of snooker.
$29.
different. Literally the next week in another part of the world.
35.
That's only been done. And then the following week, the Dubai Classic. And Mark Williams, 2002, he won the China Open in Shanghai.
And then those two. Don't know if there's any noise or something wasn't quite away from the table briefly.
42.
Could have been that Judd was the right start to the evening session here. I think the shot that Ali took on, the red by the black, didn't really threaten the pocket.
$49.
Yeah, Trump up.
$57.
Nice little nudge there. So
65.
Well, he's nicely on the next frame, and not just because he's won it, but the sort of frame Trump prefers, of course, more fluent than some of the latter frames this morning.
73.
He'd love to make another century, of course, and it's mid-October.
he's on it to the bottom left, but not as straight as he would hope. Hasn't stopped him though. Very nice.
81.
Easy.
Just a chance to
84.
regather thoughts and
85.
get on with the preparations for this final session. He felt that cue ball flew a little bit there.
$89. 91.
Standard on tour. And if Judd Trump makes a century here, it will be the 100th in the
94.
tournament. That's including Wuhan. And for him, an
98.
important one because he lost the last four frames of the Carter, missed that difficult pot on the red to left corner. Trump has stepped in with his first century of the...
It's been a terrific break. Very fluent. Not much has made him overthink shots. And look at this for a shot to it.
Wonderful. That's got the crowd going. It's got Judd Trump going again. And it's levelled the match. The 100th century of the... Hang on. Oh, that red was going towards the yellow pocket. It wasn't too close initially.
The greatest run of the ball all day, actually. Not sure that's...
A lot of nervous energy in the room now. And of course, that applies to both players.
What?
It makes a difference when there's an atmosphere. You know, there have been tournaments in the past in shot, and it's helped to create this wonderful atmosphere. Just reminding the players how important...
You can miss it. The cue ball could go back into the reds if he's not careful. Like that. Big crowds, because we often used to hear that the events were very well supported, but we didn't used to see it. I mean, he played it slowly to ensure that he would block the pocket had he missed it. But it's not going to happen. No, well, surely not. Surely not. But actually, I mean, there might be a red to the middle, which would, as the red go through the gap. It certainly does. Maybe it will end, but maybe he didn't realise the red went past the bulk colours. Deciding that all those options were too much of a risk.
Yeah, and that could be a massive mistake. It's handy trump.
Previous safety shot brought it on, but look at this table. I mean, he may come back to the table, Ali, but I think...
Yes, it could be finally one mistake too many. Been a fascinating match. Of course, Carter finished 20 minutes or so, but he's where he wants to be, at the table. The ball's in open play with a chance to get it won again.
9.
He's in the final against Shangander, 7-3. In this final, he's trying to repel any late charge from Carter. One way to do that is to...
15.
Yes,
21.
well, the table, there's still many inviting reds on show. He's got to make sure he gets an angle on his colour here. A couple of reds are in the way of position, but
27.
took the safe route and went down to bulk.
Ranking title 23 and 24. It looks like 7 days from 24 to 25. Joining some stellar company. Mark Williams, of course, who won 3 behind the great Steve Davis.
So the 8.
Just a little bit more to do.
Where's the key shot now? He just needs one more red after the blue.
He's played it well, hasn't he? He's got a choice of reds. And I think team for a long time to win back-to-back. Of course, the irony is a lot of people have complained, and rightly, about made this journey from one side of the world to the other, and he's succeeded.
What an extraordinary fortnight for Trump.
52.
And when he was in trouble, making things difficult, could have won 10-6, but has just focused on this frame. Be fascinating now. Some big tournaments to follow. Is he going to have another golden season like the one when he was winning 5-6 ranking titles? And a great week of snooker. Judd Trump, have Q, will travel. Brentwood a week ago. Woo.
65.
Yes, good words, Dave. Good to see him playing well again.
66.
If you go back to the World Championships, I didn't hear of anyone tipping Judd, which is amazing when you think of what he's achieved at the game in the last 7 or 8 years. No one really fancied him, but the last fortnight has proved he's still got it. He's still the real deal.
72.
Yeah, and there's still time for one last century. Just to close this, we've had some dramatic matches, but we've got a familiar winner.
8.
We did say last week happened. Might have to invest in a new mantelpiece with a lot of trophies still to contend this season.
87.
He's a special talent.
92.
And he's turned into a great. And when this chance came, he took it superbly.
98.
So the black to end the final, to end the tournament. He's 32nd of the season. And what a season for Judd Trump, and what a fortnight. He made the trip to China, and he has won the inaugural Wuhan Open